Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, yeah, a lot to kind well, I've talked about it before a lot, or lately I've been talking a lot about politics and being African American, a woman, but I haven't dived into the disability part as much. And I know I have to, especially with how determined our political system is on turning their backs on us. It's almost like they want to blame us for being disabled or having a handicap. And I don't know, some of you guys might need to do some research on what the Republican Party is doing, but they are literally trying to not only take Medicaid away and also threaten that, or one specific Republican wants to do something where every person with a disability has to work in order to get disability. But I was on the other episode talking about, what about if you have epilepsy or have seizures, spasms, or so many disabilities that have those ailments connected to it? What about if you're blind and deaf? Are you going to have translators and equipment? I mean, there's so many things, but on here, I'm going to kind of talk about disability versus job interview, because you don't know how often, people are like, oh, I know it's not hard to get a job. Oh, I know, people are open minded. People are this, people are that. Like, no, this country is full of bigots. True story. The end. Our country is full of a lot of bigots, and I'm already a woman. I'm already black. But then to have a disability on top of those other two items, I feel like I not only have to gain respect from the interviewers or the people at the business, being a woman of color, but then I also have to prove that I am human and that I am of equal to them. Because a lot of times it feels like, especially like I've mentioned the one private school or the religious school before, but they literally gave me the job. But then when I got there, because the first interviews were over the phone, and they were so impressed with me and my resume, literally it's happened more than once where they literally give me the job and then I get there, then they take it back. And then they ask me questions about, why don't you go to the doctors? Why aren't you going to have surgery? It's like, if you don't know what this is, then, but then I'm telling them, like, doctors are just saying this is how I walk. They're saying it. I mean, I literally, at some said, they said it's my fault. And then are they nice about it? No. They were like, well, if you're going to walk lazy like this, then you're probably not going to do a good job. Or it's like, are you sure you finished school? Are you sure? It's pretty ridiculous. But now, so we're in a country where they take away DEI. DEI didn't really help me much, but I know it has helped some people. And again, since I'm black on top of disability, a woman on top of black, on top of disability, it's like I am at the bottom of the pyramid. And I have to prove myself like 2,000 fold. It's like everything's okay until they get like, until they see me face to face. When they see my resume and when they hear me over the phone. I remember I told you guys about the interview on LinkedIn. Well, I applied on, I forgot which job site, what one of the popular ones, but then I had two job phone interviews. And then I got a notification after the second interview, after the guy literally gave me the job and said that he wants to ask me in so I can be introduced to all the staff and everything like that, and a orientation day. But then I noticed on my LinkedIn account that he looked at my profile, and then 2 hours after giving me the job, after they looked at my profile, which everything is the same on my profile as on my resume, but I get they didn't see that I was black. So, and then the university that I worked at, yeah, hired me on the spot. I taught 2 classes for 1 semester, but then found out that the dean of the school was mocking how I walked. He was ignoring him and my mentor. Yeah, I had yeah, he's not even a mentor. He's a jerk. Like, I don't have any nice words, so it's like part of me would feel like I need to take my Christian hat off. But he's a despicable, no good, heartless jerk. That's about the nicest I can be right now. But both of them ignored me the entire semester. Even when I had like real life marketing and advertising and sales examples that I wanted to do with the students. And I would email my mentor asking, "Oh, do you mind if we do this? Can I do that?" I never heard a response from him. Never. And I even wrote the dean asking him, but he never. But then when I would bump into other staff, staff would whisper in my ear, "He mocks you in the office. Be careful around him. He says that students are not going to feel comfortable around you. He doesn't know if it's just so many things. So many despicable, disgusting, ableist, racist, big. Mm. Ah. But so when people try to tell me, "Oh, well, DEI is taken away, but now it's going to be based off merit." It was never based off merit. It's like, and I've said this in a few other videos, but do you know how many times I was told I was the most qualified? If I am the most qualified, then I should be given the job. And over a dozen times I was told I was the most qualified. But then when they saw me face to face, they would say, "No, you don't want this job. You need to apply for higher jobs." But then the higher jobs, I would need more experience, years of experience in management positions, or have been in management roles. But then, well, going to the Gray Sheep Society, like, I hated job interviews because every time when I got home, and that's why sometimes it's like, since my mom was gonna call me a liar anyways, I might as well lie. I would like, if I had a job interview, I would say something else. I would figure out something else and I would even have a change of clothes in the car so that I can change out of the interview clothes and be in regular clothes so she did not know I had a job interview. And I would just say, watch the other videos because I talk about this, but it's like the nightmares. I still like, and some people are like, "Oh, get over it." When you have family members who tell you that because of how you walk, you're useless, and that no job is ever going to be desperate enough to hire you, or "See, you didn't get this job because you're pathetic. You're determined not to walk right. You don't think anything of yourself. This is what you get. This is what you deserve." And that's only skimming the surface of the things that she would tell me when I got home after a job interview. Or she would punish me by, well, you have to vacuum the entire house. It needs vacuuming. You need to dust the entire house. And sometimes she would have a whole list of things. And sometimes before I go to a job interview, she was like, well, if you don't get the job, these are the things you would have to do when you get home. And you'll know if you got the job or not. So don't lie to me. So if anybody tries to judge me for lying about not like going or not going to job interviews, you don't know the hell I went through hell. And it's just like I tried to make sure I was the best person that I could be, that I wanted to be. And when you have a parent that tells you you're not smart enough to be a lawyer, and that, like, I love technology, I love computers, but then when you have a parent that tells you only men and lesbians work on computers, and they were not going to allow me to be that, and they were going to force me to go to every single church service that our bishop provides, and I was going to have to go through the church therapy. And because they're like, if you're interested in being in computing, they were literally, this is what they literally did to me, to the point where I was like, okay, fine, I won't major, even though I really want to, even though I feel like I kind of have a passion in it, even though I'm like, I'm really creative, I really want to see if I can get into web design or just something with computers. I want to try it, but no. I'll tell the whole story on the Gray Sheep episode, but it's just a lot of Republicans are celebrating and cheering on taking away DEI. A lot of people are jumping up and down that they're taking away Medicaid and things that help people with disabilities. And it's also for like the elderly and kids as well that need it and that are provided it. It's like they don't care if we pass away. They don't care if we're in pain, because with some, like myself, with and others with disabilities, if we don't take our medications, we are in pain all of the time. But they keep saying they want us to get off our butts and get to work. So you're going to take away DEI. So you're going, even with the health insurance companies, they are restricting more and more that help people with disabilities and make it harder on us. But then you want us somehow, some way, to find a job with only merits, when most companies, when they see my disability, they find a way to go around it. They find a way to not hire me. They find a way to treat me like I'm not human enough. They devalue me, do it to my face. But then they're like, see, I made up a reason that you can't sue us about. They think it's cute. They think it's cute because they figured out ways to be able to diminish me, to put me down, to, like, because again, it's like I've said, and I'll say it as many episodes as I want. I have my education. I have my 3 degrees, 3 certifications, and I try to learn all day, every day. And I practice, and like, even with the YouTube channel, I mean, yeah, I'm I'm kind of like the nobody on here as of now, but at the same time, like creating different ideas. So, like producing and creating the episodes and like editing and researching and things like that. All things I can add to the resume. And I've recently passed 260 episodes. And it's like I'm ready to do more. And then my novel, oh my gosh, it's like I'm adding a new chapter 1 and 2. So now my now chapter 1 would be chapter 3, and I'm closer for it to be done, and I'm closer to start the marketing, which yeah, on the Nerd channel I'm going to have a lot more episodes on the marketing and the creation and the ideas and everything like that, and the upsells on the website, because a lot of authors, they only want to do one book, or they want to sell the book. They have their website and it's all about the book, and it's like no, 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 no. It's like, and that's one reason why, like, either it's karma, mantra, or being a Christian, God, or whatever. I don't know. Sometimes I think it's a combination. But with the combo of degrees that I do have, it ended up being the perfect combination for everything I do, because English degree, of course, with the writing. And then I focused on cultural and business anthropology. And so with a lot of my books, it's like I want to make sure I have like diversity, equity, and inclusion all throughout it, representation all around it. Because to me, I want to love and adore on all types of people. And then I want to show the villainy that is possible in anybody. And it's like I also have my business minor, but then I have teaching and training with technology. That's my MA. And then my MBA in internet marketing. And then, I also have my certifications too, but with all of that and with how hard I have worked, I go to job interviews, and then, I did promotional modeling for 10 or 11 years, maybe almost 12. I've been in the classroom, K through 12, and college. I have 6 children. Well, I'm about to republish them, because like when I first published them, if you've been listening, you already know, but I wasn't diagnosed yet. Doctors were lazy and awful to me, and I'm still working on. Well, I still get emotional because of how awful the doctors were to me. They are the reasons I got so many beatings. I'm just gonna say, yeah, I got beat for how I walk, and to find out I was born with a disability, and I worked so hard, and then to find out with my disability, I have a learning disability. So there were so many nights, especially in college, especially during midterms and finals, I would be like, why can't I remember this? Like, this is so frustrating. I don't get this. Why is this such a struggle? And then I'm like, after I get diagnosed, and there was research, and then there is the DNA specialist, they are literally saying, like, yeah, you have a learning disability. That's part of your disability. Yeah, congratulations. But, and that's one reason why I'm trying to start my business. It's like, if they don't want me, I want me. I know the quality I can do. I know the creativity that I can produce. And if they don't want me, I will create and do what I need to. I love my ideas, and sometimes like battling depression because when for over 30 years everyone blamed you, jobs, family, so called friends, everybody blamed me for it. And then trying to get a job, and none of the jobs, like, they don't care. Like, and it's crazy because people keep saying, oh, it'll be based on merit. But the same people who keep saying it's going to be based off merit didn't get their jobs based off merit. Most of the orange guys, people, they got it based off of brown nosing, sucking up to him, praising him, and making him feel like he's some kind of just, oh, I'm never going to say that word about him. And then the orange guy himself, he didn't work for any of that. He got it from his father, and some say he stole it from his father. His sons. Was it based off merit? And even with the orange guy's colleges, oh, he says he will sue if they show his transcripts. And it's like, even some people talk about Elon, and they're like, he never created anything. He was able to buy things. And oh yeah, he's a hot mess. I'll talk, like, in my opinion. All of this is in my opinion, of course, but it's just even their wives, because I know one of the orange guy's son's wives was on Fox, and she was just saying it needs to be based off merit, it needs to be based off this and that. You only get the jobs that you have because of who you're married to. And then Megan McCain, even, she got the job because of who her daddy was. And I think it's amazing that Mr. and Mrs. Obama's eldest daughter, it's like she like changed the last name because, or well, she, I know she had a kind of a name change with her film and everything, because she didn't want to just be accepted because of the family name. She wanted it because she deserved it, because of merit. So maybe society needs to start paying attention to that. And well, I'll kind of end it with a short story and everything, because listen to the episodes if you don't know much about Mr. No Heart. But I'm going to start the series about the 40 reasons I broke up with him. But a heads up, one of the main reasons is because he never backed me, supported me, encouraged me. When I wrote the novel, when I told him about my business ideas, he would just keep tearing me down. And even talking about me to his family members, and his family members are like, oh, well, it's like your main character's black, or how are you going to get where you want to get being black? And I don't, it was just, yeah, once they started drinking that wine and beer, they didn't, they climbed right into bigotry. Like, bigotry was there. Like, it's like when it came to Lake City, in my opinion, I think the most popular hobby that they have there is bigotry. I think that's how they have the most fun, is just being bigoted. But anyway, it's like, I remember my ex begged me to start a business, and I was shocked because I'm like, you tear me down with everything that I'm working on, and with my investing, you mock me until you want me to start investing in computer parts. Then you want me, or you try to tell me, oh, start investing in this. Like, oh, now, like, you mocked me. And right after you mocked me, you told me you needed gas money. Oh, but now you want me to invest. Now you want me to invest. Okay. But the funny thing was I invested in that over 2 months prior than when he told me to invest it. Over 2 months. So I thought that was hilarious. And but then he kind of got mad because he was like, "Oh, how do you know something that about this before I know it?" And this is one reason why I'm like, when you're dealing with decent white men, a lot of them, it's like, yeah, it was a very, like, I'm gonna say the full stories in the full episode because there's so much more to it. But when you're dealing and surrounded by decent white men, they fear us black women. They never want us to be doing more than them. They never want us to have knowledge that is more or higher than them. They always want us to be lower. And if we're not, they're going to do everything they can to diminish our flame. They're going to do everything that they can to, like, make us, force us to quit. Because that's all that, when I wanted to start creating shirt designs, I showed him. And he was like, oh, anybody can do better than that. Literally, that's what he said. Anybody could do better than that. And it's like, 'cause it was off of an idea that is now in my book, but after I finish writing the novel, I'm only going to read it if you actually publish it. Let's just say, oh, when I publish it, because I am, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's especially excited because of what I'm going to, it's tearful and emotional what I'm about to add. Well, I started adding, but it's going to be the novel that I know it needed to be. And it, years ago, I was too scared and too fearful. But now I'm like, I'm ready. And my character, I need to show this part of my character. She needs this for herself. And yeah, as I'm going to have to add some warnings at the beginning of the novel that at first I was like, maybe just hints of it, just but not do it. But I'm like, nah, screw it. I'll add the warnings, and I'm going to create Handicapable Black Nerd episodes where, for those who need to skip the chapters, they can come onto YouTube and I will share what they like, not the like, I'll share the mystery portions, that so that they can watch that and then start reading, so then they'll kind of know what they need to. But I want to do it a little bit after the book is published because I don't want people who have not read the book, so yeah, no on cheating. I want you to, like, if you can take it, or if, like, yeah. So anyway, thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. And if you listen this far, if you can do like hashtag merit or something in the description, tell me about your work experience and what kind of jobs are you looking for. I'm hoping we can help each other out. Bye.